All right, have and have not fans. This video is about, gosh darn, the funniest part of this week's episode. Quita and Veronica. Well, honestly, I'm not really here to talk about the masterpiece that was Quita's ratchet handwriting, but we're talking about the foreshadowing of how the people in the hood are plotting against Veronica, which is very interesting. Now, Veronica, and okay, I'm not going to count Veronica out because of the fact that she's gotten out of a lot of scrapes. And no, this won't be me ranting about her ridiculous levels of, I guess you could say, extra lives, how she could just crawl out of any kind of situation she's in. But okay, she's saying that if they plot against me, that she's going to rain hell on them and everything like that. But how? Once again, I am not trying to count Veronica out, but how? Think of it from this perspective. Most of the dirty shit that she's done, excuse the language, but most of the dirty shit she's done behind the scenes have been by people she's hired from the hood. And let's also keep in mind that list that Derek gave Veronica, Real, who was hired based off that list, was used to, set the bombing for the car that, was supposed to kill Erica and David, but it didn't. And then he got arrested, and he called with the one phone call in jail. He called Veronica to help get him out of jail, but she recommended another lawyer and pretty much left him in there to rot. Hence why he dropped dime on her to the FBI agents, who took the flimsy testimony because of the fact that what he said, even if it's true, Veronica Harrington can beat it. But they decided to just go, I guess you could say, try to, put the heat down on Veronica regardless. But she pretty much easily got them out of the house until she was brought in by the FBI and pretty much, verbally defeated them until they let her go again. So Real now says that, oh, if you get my baby mama out of jail, then I'm not going to say anything. Okay, that's all well and good. But here's the thing. That Riddell, basically that guy who's been like the main thug since this season started, he said two of his boys were killed, one of them being the brother. Now, their kids don't have a daddy, that kind of thing. It's just crazy to think that if you look at that, who knows but maybe some of the people that are in the hood who are plotting against Veronica, they could be from that list that Derek gave her. Derek gave her. So without even knowing it, some of the people that Veronica might call up for help in order to, plot, I guess you could say, take down the gangsters trying to take her down, those people could be Trojan horses. Like, for example, I remember when Derek handed the note over to Veronica, I tried my best to digitize and zoom in, but it was impossible for me to see how many people were on that list, as well as seeing the names on the list. It was actually a smart move by Tyler Perry because, eagle-eyed fans like me and so many others, we would have said okay, there were 6 people on that list, so why does she have 8 contacts in season 7, that kind of thing. But in any case, I'm just going to make up a name here. Let's say Tyrone is one of, get right out, call on Tyrone. Okay, I know I'm just joke singing right there. But in any case, it's okay, she calls Tyrone for extra protection, extra muscle or whatever. But then Tyrone turns out to be related to one of the guys that were killed. And next thing you know, he's invited into the house. But unbeknownst to Veronica, some of the people just determine, hey, we're going to kill her. So, he shoots her in the house and that's the end of her. That could actually, I feel like that would be a bit too simple. But at the same time, I think that would be pretty cool to actually think that she has an upper hand. But then, as Catherine told Wyatt in the preview for next week, those who have the power usually don't look like they do. So it's almost like, Veronica thinks she has the upper hand, but then her confidence and arrogance turns into utter fear because of the fact that those who she thought were on her side turned out to be the ones who would take her down. So all I'm saying is, if those thugs in the hood are actually conspiring against Veronica, what is Veronica going to do? The only thing that I can think of is get the FBI on her side. Hey, you know what? I won't testify against you in court because I have every right to. I have the ability to. You pretty much just handed me your ass, which I can take you to court for. What I'm going to need you to do is offer me protection from these hoodlums. But then you also have to look at the fact that David and Jeffrey are trying to bring the law down on Veronica themselves, which if it leads down to the whole cigarette butt that she left behind during the shooting that actually could put her behind bars, I don't know. I just feel like, you know, it would not surprise me if in the future the tables are turned where either Catherine's looking at Veronica from the outside of the jail bars or they're putting a similar cell together. Or you could argue that, you know, what she did to Justin and Wyatt will happen to her. Like, she gets put in jail and then it's arranged for, you know, some of these thugs to be arrested, put in the same cell as her. Well, then again, isn't it set up where females and males aren't in the same cells? Yeah, that's true. But let's say that, you know, if they have the police in their hands, you know, they can pretty much arrange it so they can actually put people in the cell that shouldn't even be there. Hence how Veronica was able to get toxic in the cell with Wyatt, even though Jim had it in controlled area. She paid off Terrell to set that up. So all I'm saying is, oh, okay, this would be awful. Females from the hood put into those cells, put into the cell Veronica, and they physically assault her. Pretty much, you know, her hatred towards, you know, her son being gay people in general, to have, and I feel uncomfortable saying this because honestly, I wouldn't wish that on anyone, but to have Veronica go through what Toxic put Wyatt through, to go through what those thugs put Justin through, that would be a despicable ending. And I'm not necessarily meaning death, but I mean for her to experience that, I feel like that would be the worst kind of punishment. Burn her house down, blow up her car, take away her wigs, but kill her. But if Veronica has to experience that form of torture in jail, I think that would be the worst thing in her mind to happen. So if the people in the hood were arranging to get Veronica, then she could either get FBI protection or she might get arrested because of David and, you know, Jeffrey trying to, you know, set that up for, you know, her putting the shooting in. But then again, you know, the people in the hood don't snitch, so they're not going to drop down on Veronica because they have their own way of doing things, hence why they're plotting against her. Because honestly, all they had to do was testify and that'll be the end of that. But then Veronica says, I have a lot of dirt on you, so I could put you behind bars as well. So Veronica, I mean, she already has puzzle pieces on Jim, David, and Catherine. She might want to get some puzzle pieces for all these people who are plotting against her. So if something does happen to her, boom, those lawyers can actually bring the hammer down on all those thugs as well. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens with that. Either way, I'm excited. I just hope this plot doesn't fizzle out because this actually makes sense. I love it. The fact that Quita came back and we were all asking, why is she coming back? And I was actually a bit surprised she didn't even bring up the Quincy Maxwell murder once. But at the same time, the fact that an insignificant character foreshadowed a possible big event to occur to one of the main characters of the show, I love that. So with that being said, oh yeah, also going back to what I was saying before, the reason I said that the FBI, she could probably get them on her side, maybe, but I doubt it, is the fact that a lot of her dirty work were done by these thugs, these hoodlums, the people that she mocks, the people that she uses for her own means. So without them on her side, with them work, again, I want to make the Lion King reference when it came down to the end of the movie where Scar pretty much threw the hyenas under the bus. But then they found out that he was lying on them, a lion lying on them. Okay, that was a bad pun. And then they ended up killing him. Same thing with Veronica and these thugs. That's all I'm saying. So let me know your thoughts. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell notification icon so you don't miss out on any new content. Make sure you follow me on social media. Links to all of my social media are in the description box below. And I'll talk to you all soon. But either way, guys, I was not expecting Quita to drop a bomb like that. And yeah, like I said before, the ghetto handwriting, I mean the ratchet handwriting, funny scene. But the takeaway for me was the hood plotting against Veronica. Hell, could she get the Malones on her side to work for her? I don't know. There's so many different avenues to this. And just remember, this entire episode and next week, you know, like when George calls out for her arrogance and then Derek calls her out for her arrogance and how it's all going to come back on her and how she pretty much just said, forget you, Catherine. She is burning all these bridges for people she's going to need, but they're not going to be there when she actually needs them the most. Just keep that in mind, folks. And I'll talk to you all soon.